I was fully convinced and persuaded that she is the one.
I'm blushing now. This is a perfect gentleman. He just ignores
You don't have
him.
to have a notebook where you write offenses that come up in marriage.
We don't really operate by law. We operate by love because it's a love relationship. What works for you? What makes you comfortable? And so we do it. Okay, 1990. I know Mr. E will forget. He hardly remember.
I remember it's March.
March what? Okay, March 1995. That's 30 years this month.
But I tried in remembering the month now.
It's fine.
We met in the church.
Yes, we met in the church.
Former church.
A former church.
Wow, that's a good one. Okay, having written down things I needed in marriage, the type of person, how tall, where she's coming from, the education and all the rest. I was actually doing that part, but I told God I want to do your will. In the course of my prayer, God directed me actually that she is the one by mentioning her name. An instance I can never forget how it came, and I was fully convinced and persuaded that she is the one.
I'm blushing now. Yeah, just the same divine direction. I was even actually in a relationship already. I was already engaged in my church. About 4 or 5 people came for me in marriage for 1 week because, when you're a serious Christian girl, a lot of brothers want to marry you, especially those brothers that are looking for Jim sister who will be good for maybe pastor and all that. So what I did was I chose one out of, though the person I even chose wasn't in my church then, and so, but it's from my village. And while we're in that relationship, I observed something that pushed me seriously, a character that I had that pushed me seriously to go and pray about that relationship. And in the course of prayer, the Lord told me that he wasn't the one that he has meant for me. And so, I had to, leave that relationship. And in the process, he came along and he wasn't fitting, as a human being.
There's a story she said that actually convinced her to. The old woman she was living with. The day I visited them for the first time, there was an act that woman displayed that, in fact, you can see that God spoke through her.
Yes, she was bringing out everything in the house to serve him. She was doing certain unusual things that she doesn't normally do. That was actually a confirmation. That was not. There was just that God also used her to confirm it for me, and so I've told other way to do my will. But there's this funny way you want to do your own will. Your flesh is saying do it like this. You want a tall brother, you want a rich brother, you want this. But there's also another part of you that is saying do God's will. So I made up my mind I'm going to do God's will, and so that's how we came. Basically, our story is about divine direction. It's about divine direction. That's how we found ourselves. And I know a lot of people will be saying divine direction, how do God speak and all that. You see, you have to learn how God speaks.
To hear God.
How to hear God. You have to learn how to hear God. So because if you don't hear God in other matters, it will be difficult to hear him when it comes to marriage issues. So you have to learn to know how God speaks to you.
There are things that come up in marriage that you need to overlook. You need to forgive. Just put them aside and move forward. And when you dwell on it, it might cost you your marriage. It might cost you a pain. It might even make you to, be angry unnecessarily. You don't need it in marriage.
Yeah, people ask me, why do you call your husband New Testament husband? This is one of the reasons why I call him New Testament husband. He doesn't have so much. He doesn't have laws. Like, he forgives. He's the kind of man that just forgives. Women will talk a lot. You just talk. This is a perfect gentleman. He just ignores. He reacts when he ought to react. He reacts at the right time, respond at the right time. When he doesn't have to, he just ignores it. So That's one of the reasons why I call
You
him
don't have
Blessed.
to have a notebook where you write offenses, where you jot down offenses that come up in marriage. If you start counting it, it will take you a lot of things. Another lesson I've learned is the area of finance.
Okay.
You know, so many people hide a lot of things when it comes to marriage. You know, husband will not want the wife to know what is happening, or the level you are in financially is, to me, it's not the best. You should be open to each other.
Yes, when it comes to finance, it's something that men think that if I don't tell my wife everything about my finance, she won't ask too much. But I'm a woman. If I don't know your level, I will assume. And assumption is not good. I will assume maybe he has so much money or he has little. So the best is be open to your wife. But women, the reason why men sometimes don't get openness is because if you're the type that cannot manage money, immediately they tell you there's 1 billion, you want to finish the 1 billion, they won't be open. But like he said, it's a one lesson that both of us have learned, and we are very much open to each other. It wasn't like that at the beginning, but we learned it in the course of this marriage. Maybe after 1, 2 years, 3 years, we decided to be completely open to each other in our marriage when it comes to finance. Okay.
Those early days of marriage, when love it, sometimes it does not flow continually like that. So.
Yeah, and that brings me to my own lesson that marriage is work. Marriage is responsibility. Love is not enough in marriage. You must understand that there's a responsibility. There are people to take care of. There are parenting, in-laws, and so many other things. Marriage is just all involving, and it gives lots of work. And so it's a work that comes with love. And because of that, it makes the work easier. But coming with a mentality that I'm just coming to enjoy my life. Of course, marriage is very much enjoyable, but also understand that it has a work, it has a responsibility. Okay, my second lesson is no two marriages are the same. What works for us is different from what will work for another marriage. In these 30 years, at the beginning, people like me, I love to see a couple in my church that their marriage is sweet, and I want to copy everything they were doing, and I discovered that it's not just working for everything that they are doing their own will not work in our home. So we came back and we sat down, begin to devise things that work for us, begin to create our own value system, and that is it. So no two marriages will be the same. After all, no two human beings are the same. So you need to create your own family values, create what works for you, let it work for you. I saw a post where a man say a woman must submit all her money, salary 100% to the man. Of course, if that is what works for that family, why not? Why not? But making it a law, that's why I call my husband a New Testament husband. We don't really operate by law. We operate by love because it's a love relationship. What works for you? What makes you comfortable? And so we do it. Okay?
One of the things that has helped our marriage is the issue of making God number one. It has helped our marriage from beginning, and it will come down to our children. It has helped them to be what they are now today in the society. Well, like I said before, forgive, forgo, overlook. If you don't, you stick to one offense, and then you don't even know when rapture will come. You stick to one offense. It may linger for 20 days, 30 days. So I have a friend that used to, he has a diary. He will write every full stop, comma, of what happened in marriage, the offenses. So we don't need to.
How we resolve our own conflict is communication. I think I'm more hot-tempered than him. He hardly gets angry. I can say I get more angrier than him, if there's any word like that. I discovered that when he say ignore, that's exactly what he practices. So you come and hear things like igri chala, are you done with being angry? In fact, in the next 30 minutes, 1 hour, even 10 minutes, 5 minutes, he's already asking you, hey, how are you, baby? This, that, he's already talking back to you. So we don't allow anything to stay or linger Immediately there's a challenge, we resolve it through communication. We talk, we engage each other in talking, and then we resolve it. If someone needs to say sorry, we say sorry. If we need to try to understand why the other person behaved the way he or she behaved, we try to understand. There is no need for us to bear grudges. We don't have that time. So when we finish, we can even finish now. The next time we're in the other room doing our thing. So make up your mind to forgive, to ignore. It's a love relationship. And the Bible says love covers multitude of sin. So if truly you love your partner, you won't be counting laws, counting everything every minute. You will forgive and then discuss it so that it doesn't happen again. Learn lessons from your challenges and mistakes and move on.
Find your why. Why do you want to go into marriage? It's very important. Why do you want to go into marriage? Are you trying to escape the house, the family you are coming from? Are you truly going there to fulfill God's will? He says two is better than one. And they say it's not good for a man to be alone. So if you understand that this is God ordained, marriage is God ordained, when you enter into it, you do everything to make it work, to make it a lifetime event. It's not hit and run. No, when you understand that it's God ordained, you are going there to fulfill a ministry. It's ministry. You can call it that because you are doing the plan and purpose of God. So when you get in there, you do everything to make it work out for the two of you. And they say a home that is good is always in one person's hand. Let it be in your own hand that this family will work out, that this marriage will work out. If you see it that way, she see it that way, that it's in my hand. She says it's in my hand. Two of you will do everything to make it work out.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. So my last word is make it work. Make it work. Like he said, say this marriage is in my hand to make it work. And if your partner is saying the same thing, it will actually work.